Hey guys, how's it going? Joe here again, and I'm gonna go back to some car stuff today. Now, what I want to talk about is the Ford GT, the all-new Ford GT 2017. It's going to be coming out soon, and there's already been a lot of videos of people reviewing it online, going over the tech specs and everything, but there seems to be a lot of controversy surrounding everything that's going on with the car. And whether it's the vetting process, the V6 engine, there's a lot of people that are disappointed with how Ford has been handling things with the new Ford GT. The first thing that I want to go over is the price. A lot of people say that it's too expensive. You have cars like the Acura NSX out there right now, and they're charging about $200K for Acura's Halo car. Now, with that, you get the hybrid platform, so you're kind of on par as far as technology goes with cars like the Porsche 918, the McLaren P1, the LaFerrari. Now, obviously, those are million-dollar supercars. You're not going to be getting the same performance out of it, but the fact is that they used the same sort of technology where you have your actual engine in the back, you have the battery pack so you can drive in hybrid mode if you really want to, and you also have 3 engines in the car, one at each front wheel, one at the back. Really awesome car, and it's about half the price of the Ford GT. A lot of people thought that when this car came out that it would be coming in at a similar price point. The issue that I have with that isn't that the Ford GT costs too much, it's the fact that people are kind of writing off the Ford GT because of this. If you look at everything that's going into it, a completely carbon fiber monocoque chassis, the V6 engine pumping out almost 500 horsepower, it is crazy what you're getting for that dollar point. I mean, like I said before, you're looking at cars like the Porsche 918, and those are costing $1 million. With the Ford GT, you're paying around $400,000, and you're getting a car which performs probably the same. With the Ford GT, it is a 100% track-focused car. People are not going to be buying this just to keep in their garage, maybe use as a weekend cruiser. They're going to be taking it to places like Laguna Seca, and they are going to be ripping the hell out of it. All right, the next issue that a lot of people have been talking about is the vetting process and how Ford went about selecting participants to be able to buy the Ford GT. Now, I do think that it's kind of pretentious that you had to be selected by Ford. Usually, cars that do that sort of thing, or I guess auto manufacturers, that's reserved for people like Ferrari. It's, there's a little bit more like air of pretentiousness in the air when you're buying a car like a Ferrari. And, for Ford, who makes cars like the Fiesta, to be going in and saying, you can't buy this car, you can't buy this car. I understand how some people were taken aback by it a little bit. With that, though, they didn't want people to be buying the Ford GT and keeping it in their garage, collecting dust. They wanted people that were going to be going out and driving this car, taking it to the track, and, people who were have a social media presence, things like that as well. They want these cars to be used. And I think that that's pretty commendable on Ford's part, because I guarantee you that there's a ton of people that have seen how much the original Ford GT that came out in 2005, they see how much that car has skyrocketed in value, and they just want to buy one, put a few miles on it, keep it in the garage, and just watch the price go up. But no, Ford chose the opposite path with that. They want people that are actually going to be using this car for its purpose. I think that that is a lot better than having the pretentiousness of people thinking that it was wrong to have a vetting process in order to buy the car. Now, along with that, something that a lot of people don't realize is that originally Ford only had a 2-year production run on the Ford GT. Because of that, they had the vetting process, but after they realized the huge demand that they were having for the Ford GT, they came out and said that they were going to extend the production run by an additional 2 years. Now, with that, in 2019, I believe it is, Ford is going to be making more cars for people who weren't selected in the first round. And then in 2020, they're actually going to be making cars for sale to the general public. So that kind of fixes the issue. I really don't think that that's going to be a problem anymore. It's kind of a moot point almost. All right, and the last point is that V6 engine that people can't seem to stop complaining about. Now, I understand that a lot of people thought that they should stay true to the heritage and keep a V8 in it, especially when the new GT350 has that voodoo V8 with the flat plane crank. Now, while I think that that engine would have sounded amazing in the Ford GT, hearing that thing rip around the track, I think that they kind of chose the right path in going forced induction with the V6. Let me explain. With Halo cars like the Ford GT, you get a lot of trickle-down engineering, and unfortunately, V8s are kind of going by the wayside. You can see that with Ferraris. I mean, even they're not using the big V12s, the big V10s anymore. Everything's getting downsized to lower displacement in order to meet with emissions in internal combustion engines. With this V6, they actually took the block from the Ford F-Series and they turned it into a race engine. And I think that what we're going to see with that is a lot of the technology that they put into the Ford GT in order to make this crazy high-performance car is going to start trickling down into other aspects of Ford. So with that, you're going to get better boost out of turbochargers. You're going to be getting more reliable engines that are high performance. You're going to be getting higher RPM ranges out of your engines. Things that they put into this car are going to start going into other aspects of Ford. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that video. It's just one of those things that has kind of been bugging me lately. I wanted to kind of get off my chest. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but I had a lot of stuff going on with school. So if you guys could like this video, subscribe, that would be awesome. Thanks.